We're learning more tonight about the timeline of the school shooting in Uvalde and the resources police had available. KVUE senior reporter Tony Plohetski joins us now. And Tony, you sat down with law enforcement and were able to review surveillance video and body camera video from inside the school.
And Brian and Quita, what we know at this point is that within 19 minutes of officers arriving at that school, they had rifles as well as ballistic shields that, in the minds of some people who are reviewing the evidence in this case, would have given officials enough ability to take down that shooter. Keep in mind that almost an hour passed before they then went inside that classroom and found the bodies of those 19 children and 2 teachers, as well as taking down the gunman. Of course, this raises new questions about the police response, what they were armed with at the time, and why they did not act sooner. There is a lot of new information in this case, as well as a new timeline that investigators have put together. And Brian and Quita, much of this information is actually going to be presented tomorrow here in Austin at a Senate hearing that is hearing testimony from law enforcement as well as members of the public about what happened that terrible day.
And Tony, what we saw there was a screenshot of that video that's going to be presented. Is that correct?
Quita and Brian, it's unclear the entirety of what all is going to be presented, but as you mentioned, I have seen some of the video evidence in this case, was able to watch some of this video information. And again, the video, the screen grab that we have does show some officers with rifles as well as a shield, a ballistic shield. Again, this screen grab was taken at 11:52 in the morning on May 24th. This screen grab, again, showing the officer, at least one officer, although there were several with assault rifles and other weapons as well. And then on the bottom of your screen, sort of to the right there, you can see one officer does have a ballistic shield. Again, this was about 19 minutes. Looking at the timeline, this was about 19 minutes from the time that the gunman entered the school at 11:33 in the morning. But again, Quita and Brian, about 58 minutes passed from the moment this screen grab was taken to the time that officials ultimately and law enforcement ultimately made entry into that classroom. There is other information that we are going to be hearing tomorrow as well, including a transcription of the Uvalde School District Police Chief, Pete Arredondo, whose name we've all become familiar with. We've been able to review a transcript of a call that he made to the Uvalde Police Department at 11:40 in the morning, essentially saying, send everything you can, send all the weapons you can, send all the personnel that you can. And according to this transcript of Pete Arredondo, from what is observed on body camera, and that is at different times, he was trying to make contact with the gunman on the other side of the wall of those classrooms, and did at one point discuss, this was about 20 minutes before they ultimately made entry, but he did toss out the idea of trying to take the gunman down through a window. So a lot of this testimony is expected to be made public at the state Senate hearing tomorrow. Of course, we will be covering it and have all the details for you as they continue to unfold. Brian and Quita.
Our senior reporter, Tony Plohetski, with the latest on the investigation into that mass shooting. Tony, thank you.